Hello friends, if you like my videos, subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.
So in this video, I am going to explain you about RAPD-PCR, Random Amplified Polymorphic DNA Polymerase Chain Reaction. So this is the abbreviation of RAPD-PCR. So before entering into the topic of RAPD-PCR, I want to explain you a crime scene. So to make this video to get interesting, I am going to explain your crime scene. So why I am going to explain your crime scene here? Because the crime scene plays a major and vital role in the form of an application of this RAPD. So what is an important application of this RAPD? Crime scene. So if you understand the crime scene, then you can understand how the DNA samples can be identified. I mean, whether they are similar or not. So that is only the major function which will be done in this RAPD. So before entering into the topic of this RAPD, I mean the mechanism of this RAPD, firstly I'm going to explain you the crime scene. So listen properly and understand the concept here. Right? It will be a little bit interesting. So listen properly. So there are three people and I have named them as Vishal Yadav, Rahul, Karthik. So these are the three people. See, Vishal Yadav and Rahul are enemies. Right? Vishal Yadav and Rahul are enemies. But Karthik doesn't have any relation with these both people. Right? So now what will happen is that as these both are enemies, once on a fine day, Vishal Yadav will go to the Adivar playground. I have named this playground as a Adivar playground, right? So Vishal Yadav will go to the Adivar playground, and then what will happen? Rahul will take his knife along with him and he will kill Vishal Yadav. He will kill Vishal Yadav with a knife. You know, he will stab this Vishal Yadav with a knife and he will kill Vishal Yadav. And then what will happen is that this Rahul will throw the knife in the playground itself, and then Rahul will escape, right? But this total crime scene will be seen by this Karthik, right? This Rahul killed this Vishal Yadav, right? This scene has been, it has been looked by this Karthik. So now once I want to find out what will happen is that this Karthik will go to the police station and then he will explain the total crime scene to the cops, to the policemen. And then what does this policeman will do? This policeman will take Karthik along with him and he will go to the playground, Adivar playground, right? And why they will go to the Adivar playground? Because to see some of the clues, whether the clues are present in the playground or not. So now what they will see a knife, because this Rahul has thrown knife after stabbing him and he will move. I mean, he will escape. Then this knife, this is the only evidence which has been obtained by this policeman. So now what they will do is that the policemen will wear gloves to their hands and they will take this knife and they will put them in a plastic bag. So why this policemen will wear gloves to their hands? Because to avoid the placement of the fingerprints, right? So here this knife consists of DNA fingerprints which are belonging to the Rahul, because Rahul had killed Vishal Yadav with the help of a knife, such that the fingerprints of the Rahul will be present on that knife, such that the policemen will wear gloves to their hands and they will take that knife and they will put them in a plastic bag and they will sell this evidence to the forensic lab. So now we know that the policemen are not fools, right? So now what they will do, they will take this Karthik as a crime suspect. They will make this Karthik as a crime suspect. So they will also take the DNA sample from the Karthik, right? So now this forensic lab will take two DNA samples. One of the DNA sample belonging to the Rahul, which has been obtained from the knife, and another DNA sample is been obtained from the Karthik, right? So now this forensic lab has two DNA samples, Rahul and another one is Karthik, which belongs to Rahul and another belongs to Karthik. We know that this Rahul is a killer and Karthik is a crime suspect, and this DNA has been obtained from the knife, right? And this DNA has been obtained either in the form of a saliva or else either in the form of a blood or else in the nail, hair follicles, from the skin, like that. He will take that particular DNA samples from the Karthik. So now what they will do they will perform RAPD-PCR technique. And once they perform this RAPD-PCR technique, then they will conclude whether the two DNA samples are same or different. I mean, if they will do this RAPD-PCR technique, and here of course what we know that the DNA samples will be different, but this forensic lab people doesn't know that the DNA samples are different, such that they will perform this RAPD-PCR technique and they will conclude whether the DNA samples which has been obtained are same or not. Of course they are different, because here the killer is Rahul but not Karthik, right? He is just a crime suspect. So once if they obtain the Rahul DNA sample, right, and if they compare the both DNA samples of Rahul only, then they can conclude that Rahul is a killer, but we have took here Karthik as a crime suspect. So instead of taking Karthik as a crime suspect, if you take Rahul as a crime suspect, then the DNA matches such that we can conclude that Rahul is a murderer or he's a killer. But we have took Karthik as a crime suspect, so we cannot conclude that Karthik is a murderer because the result which will be obtained is different. I mean, the DNA samples are different. So how you can say the DNA samples which has been obtained are same or different? By performing the technique called as random amplified polymorphic DNA polymerase chain reaction. So now let us see the mechanism which is involved in RAPD-PCR. So I think you people have understood about this crime scene, right? So now let us discuss about the RAPD-PCR. RAPD is a type of PCR reaction where the segments which are amplified are random. So before watching this video, I recommend you people to watch basic video about this PCR reaction such that you can understand the basic concept of the PCR, polymerase chain reaction. So watch that video, then you can understand the steps which are present in that PCR and you can understand the concept of the PCR actually. So here the RAPD is a type of polymerase chain reaction where the segments which are amplified are random. So here what you are going to do is that you are going to perform the polymerase chain reaction, and once the polymerase chain reaction is been done, then the segments will be obtained. You know, many segments will be obtained, but those segments which has been obtained are random. They are random. So RAPD-PCR, the ingredients which are involved in this RAPD-PCR are buffer, Mg2 plus concentration. You have to take Mg plus 2 concentration, maybe magnesium concentration you have to take in the form of a buffer, right? And why this buffer is usually, it is mainly used for the process of annealing. Annealing is nothing but one of the steps which is present in the polymerase chain reaction. So that's only the reason I have said you that you have to watch this polymerase chain reaction once. And the second ingredient is Taq DNA polymerase. So Taq DNA polymerase is nothing but the DNA polymerase which has been obtained from the Thermus aquaticus bacterium is called as Taq DNA polymerase. Instead of Taq DNA polymerase, you can also use some other thermal stable DNA polymerase enzymes. So this enzyme mainly plays a major and vital role in the in this annealing process, right? And here you are going to take the primer. And this primer is nothing but the short oligonucleotide primer, and don't forget here you are going to take random primers. Random primers are nothing but it consists of two types of primers, forward primers as well as the reverse primers. So what are these forward primers and reverse primers? I am going to explain to you in the further explanation. And you are going to perform the agarose gel electrophoresis technique such that you need agarose gel, of course, right? Obviously. So now let us see the mechanism of RAPD-PCR. So here what I have said you, we have obtained two DNA samples. One of the DNA sample has been obtained from the Rahul, who is a killer, who is a murderer. And here we are going to take another DNA sample of a crime suspect called as Karthik. And now what you are going to do is that you are going to start the polymerase chain reaction, PCR reaction. That's what I have mentioned here, right? It is a type of PCR reaction. So now here you are going to start the PCR reaction. So we know that the first step which is involved in the polymerase chain reaction is denaturation. So now you are going to denature this DNA. What is denaturation? Here you are going to apply high temperature, nearly 92 degrees of Celsius of temperature you are going to apply to this strand such that, to this DNA, such that the both DNA strands will get separated. So this both are double stranded DNA, right? So this double stranded DNA will get converted to two single stranded DNAs. So this is one of the strand and this will be another strand. Both of the strands will get separated by the process of this denaturation, right? And this will be your 5' end and 3' end strand. This will be your 3' end to 5' end strand, and the same applies here also. And this is the first step which is involved in the polymerase chain reaction, which is called as a denaturation. And the second step which is involved is annealing, right? In the annealing, I have said you, right, Taq DNA polymerase plays a major and vital role. Taq DNA polymerase, and you are also going to add the primers. So now what happens in the next step? So once if you add primers along with this Taq DNA polymerase, then what will happen? The primers, I have said you that we are going to use random primers. So random primers are nothing but two type of primers will be present. They are forward primers as well as the reverse primers. So the arrow marks which I have indicated are nothing but the forward primers, and here the arrow marks which I have indicated here are the reverse primers. By the arrow mark, you can understand what are forward primers as well as what are the reverse primers. We know that the primers formation occurs from 5' to 3' direction, right? And here the forward primers runs from 5 prime to 3 prime direction, and the reverse primers also runs from 5 prime to 3 prime direction, right? And it and make sure that the primers are complementary. So actually, what are primers? Primers are nothing but the complementary strand which binds to the template strand. Now these strands which has been separated will act as a template strand to the complementary strands. So what are the complementary strands which are going to add here is nothing but the primers, right? So now we are going to add the primers here, and then what will happen? Now we are going to do the amplification process such that many DNA fragments will be obtained from the DNA sample of the Rahul, who is a killer, who is the actual murderer. And here again in the similar way you are going to obtain the Karthik DNA samples, right, who is a crime suspect. You are going to obtain the strands. So what is the main purpose which you are going to do in this polymerase chain reaction is that we are going to obtain only small amount of DNA from both the people, and you are going to make it in a large amount. That is the main important role which is played by this PCR reaction, polymerase chain reaction. So that process is called as amplification, right? So we are going to increase the number of strands. That's only the main purpose which you are going to do in the step of the amplification. And now what you are going to do, these are the strands which has been obtained. Now we are going to perform the agar-agar gel electrophoresis technique. So now in the agar-agar gel electrophoresis technique, what you are going to do, you are going to take the agar-agar gel. This is the agar-agar gel, right? And here this will be your negative electrode and this will be your positive electrode, and now we are going to supply the electricity. So now you are going to before supplying it to the electricity, you are going to take the agar-agar gel and you are going to prepare 2 wells. You are going to punch 2 wells on this agar-agar gel. Why are you going to punch only 2 wells? Because we have two DNA samples, right? One of the sample belongs to the evidence, I mean who belongs to the Karthik, who belongs to the Rahul, and another DNA sample belongs to the Karthik. So you are going to add the fragments which has been obtained from the Rahul in the first well, and now we are going to add the fragments which has been obtained from the Karthik in the second well, right? I have indicated R means Rahul, K is nothing but the Karthik. If you see here, there is a much amount of difference which can be seen here, and once you add the DNA samples, I mean all of the fragments in these particular wells, then it starts migrating, I mean it starts separating and migrate towards the positive electrode. So it starts migrating and separating from negative electrode to the positive electrode. Make sure, see, one of the most important thing which you people have to remember is that if the molecule size is small, then it can move fastly towards the positive electrode. I mean, if the segment of the DNA is small in size, then it can move faster towards the positive electrode, and if the size of the DNA strand is large, then it cannot move fastly towards the positive electrode, where it gets stuck near the particular position of the agar-agar gel. Here you can see the difference, major difference here. Here the strand is present in this location, here this strand is present in the another location, which is not similar. And here also it is not similar, but here it is a similar, here it is not similar, here it is not similar, here it is similar, here it is not similar, right? So if all the DNA samples will be present similarly, then we can say he is not a crime suspect, he is a serial killer. But here we have took Karthik as a crime suspect, where he is not a murderer. Hence the DNA strands which are been placed are in a different location, such that we can identify that this person is not a crime, this person is not a murderer. So we can conclude that the Karthik is not a murderer. Once if they take the DNA sample of Rahul again in the sample 2, then what will happen? Then the DNA samples which will be located will be exact location, then you can conclude that the Rahul is a serial killer. But they didn't done any investigation, just they took Rahul, they just took the Karthik as a crime suspect, and they took the DNA sample of that Karthik and they placed and they have done this polymerase chain reaction, and they placed all of the DNA fragments in this Karthik such that they obtain the result which is different, right? So once the one of the most important thing which people have to remember is that if the result which will be obtained is same, then we can conclude that he is a murderer. And if the result which is obtained is different, then we can conclude the secondary person is not a murderer, right? So he is just a victim. We'll conclude that he is just a victim. So this is how you are going to perform this this RAPD PCR, right? So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, do like and subscribe, and if you have any doubts regarding this video, you can comment in the comment box. I'm going to clarify doubts immediately. Thank you.